name is Felicia Wright, and this is the Go Rogue podcast. Do you feel stuck? Does every day feel like Groundhog's Day? Well, I'm here to tell you it's time to take charge of your life and know that you are meant for more than this. It's time to go rogue. This podcast is for people that are ready to say enough is enough and discover their new normal with entrepreneurship. Get ready because your rogue journey starts now. Let's get into it. Hey, and welcome to episode 20 of the Go Rogue podcast. And in this episode, I am going to talk about why you should stop dipping your toes in the water and just jump in. And I'll explain to you why that analogy is so funny. But before I get into that, I want to share with you, I just hosted tonight my Ditch the Cubicle Masterclass in my group. And I share with the audience over there on Facebook, my group on Facebook, all about how I was able to leave my 9 to 5. My 9 to 5, as many of you know, was teaching. And I built my business on the side, and then I was able to leave. So the name of it is Ditch Your Cubicle. And you can find that masterclass in the Go Rogue group. But I want to warn you that that masterclass is only going to be up till Saturday, November 24th, I believe. So you definitely want to head over there, check it out before that masterclass comes down. So definitely head over there. You can find it at bit.ly/rogue community and go over there and watch that masterclass, especially if you are trying to go rogue and build a business that you love. So let's talk about what we are talking about today, which is dipping your toes in gets you nowhere. So what I mean by that is if you are trying something new or you've been trying something for a while, it's more like if you've been trying things for a while, a lot of the times we like to dip our toes in the water and just try things out. And that's okay. But if you just keep dipping your toe in the water and not really playing full out and doing what you need to do, you're not going to make any progress. And the funniest part about this analogy is that I am not the best swimmer. So I know my husband is going to laugh at me when he sees the title of this episode because he's my sound engineer. We like to call him over here. So I've learned through business that when I have only just tried something and just halfway tried something, it never really worked out. But when I go all the way in, I see more progress. So the first thing is you just can't play half in, half out because you're not going to make any progress by doing that. You will find yourself, I'm trying this, and then you're not fully giving whatever you want to do a real shot. You have to give things a real shot and a real go. And that's the only way you're going to know if that is something that is for you. So for example, with the swimming thing, I guess I'll use the swimming example, which is pretty embarrassing, but I like to try to go swimming every once in a while. And then I'm like, I can't really swim. And my husband's like, well, you're never in the water. What's wrong with you? He's like, you actually have to swim, Felicia. I'm like, no, you don't. So I always like to occasionally I'll be in the pool. I'm like, oh yeah, but I never really try to swim. And my husband's adamant. He's like, you can swim, Felicia, but you just start and then you panic. And I think that's a good way of looking at anything. Have you started something and you were pretty confident with it, and then you started to panic and second guess yourself and say, wait a second, I'm trying this. This is never going to work. And then you back out. That is the main problem, is like not giving it a full go. So I want to encourage you, don't be like me when it comes to swimming, and don't panic and start to doubt yourself. Because with every single idea I've had in my entire life, and it probably didn't happen so much as a kid, but as an adult, I'll have this amazing idea. And I was like, yes, this feels like the truth for me. Like, this is going to be amazing. And then the very next day, I start to panic and the doubt creeps in, and I start asking myself, does anybody care? Am I the only person that cares about this? What am I doing? And then that doubt creeps in, and then you find yourself stopping. So don't play half in, half out, go all the way. And especially if the next thing I really wanted to touch on was if you're splitting your focus. And my friend out there is, oh, she's told me this so many times. She's just like, Felicia, you've got to stop splitting your focus across different things. She's like, you're never going to get good at anything, and you're never really going to find what you really want to do. So basically, I've been dipping my toe in lots of different ponds to see which one I like. And I'm a big proponent of experimenting in the beginning. Everybody has to experiment. There's no way around it. Even if people got it the first go around when it comes to their business, I guarantee you they've experimented in other aspects of their lives and figure out what they liked. That's just part of being a person. You have to experiment. But after a while of so much experimenting, you really have to figure it out. Like, put your big girl panties on and be like, hey, okay, I've experimented with 10 different things. It's time to get my act together. Okay? This comes from love, trust me. And I've been there. I get it. So I don't want you to split your focus too much. But once you know in your heart what you really want to do, it's just you have to start to accept it. Yeah, I said it. Like, it's so hard to just really accept what you feel called to do, because then the doubt creeps in. It's like, well, maybe I should try a million other different things before I give this a go. Don't do that to yourself. Learn from my mistakes. And it's funny, like with Go Rogue on these podcast episodes, like I really do it because I want you to learn from my mistakes, and not everybody's going to make mistakes, but not make as many. And I think that's the goal a lot of the times, is like, hey, I experienced this, and I know you're probably struggling with it too. I don't want you to struggle with it anymore. Know that you're not alone, okay? And then once you finally decide, like, okay, I'm going to stop dipping my toes in different things, I am going to go full out. And then I want you just to fully commit to what you want. And that's a hard thing to do. You think it would be easy, but it just simply isn't, especially if you have a confidence issue. And I think as women, a lot of us have issues with confidence. We've been told that we're supposed to fit into this box, and we don't fit into a box. And you'll find with the Rogue Women series that comes out on Fridays on this podcast that a lot of the women that I featured, they felt like they were supposed to do a certain thing, and they had put themselves in a box and then figured out, it's like, wait a second, this box I've been told my entire life, that's not where I'm supposed to be. What am I doing? And I think we all go through that experience, and that's the essence of really going rogue, of like really waking up one day is like, whoa, I don't recognize my life. Like, how did I get here? And I'm going to do something about it. I want to be happy. So I want you to fully commit to what you want to do, as difficult as that is. And I really love this analogy, dipping your toes in, because just recently I was talking to somebody that I know, and she loves music, and she actually works in finance right now. And she told me, she's like, well, I'll probably do finance for a couple more years, and then I'm going to transition to music somehow, some way. And I was like, well, what were you thinking? She's like, well, I'll stay in finance, and then I will get a finance job in a music department somewhere. And I was like, wait, what? Say what now? And she's like, yeah, because I love music. I was like, well, why don't you just do the music part then? It's like, you're just dipping your toe in the water without actually swimming, because that's what you really want to do. And it's crazy how we like talk our way into these weird situations that we think are the right answer, but really just simplify it. remove the doubt, remove the confusion, because that's super confusing to my brain, and just take it back to its simplest thing. What do you want to do? Once you know the answer to that, go do it. And granted, there's like a lot of different factors, family and everything, but there's ways that you can do stuff without jeopardizing like your family and your relationships and things like that. So that's really what I wanted to hop in here and talk about, because so many of us do that and we're just experimenting for the sake of experimenting, and we never fully commit to one particular thing. So let's all commit and do what's in our hearts to do, because that is the only way that we're going to be able to share our gift with the world. I will admit, Go Rogue was me dipping my toe into the podcasting water, and I never thought I'd start a podcast, but everybody around me, after I kind of came to the conclusion on my own, they're like, well, why wouldn't you start a podcast? I'm like, oh, well, I didn't think about that. So fully committed to Go Rogue, and I love it. And I'm happy I actually took the plunge and stuck with it. Because look at this, like episode 20, say what? I can't believe it. So if you are on your Go Rogue journey, I want to invite you to head over to the Go Rogue community on Facebook. You can find it at bit.ly/rogue community, and go check it out there and meet other women that are on their rogue journey. You will also find that masterclass in there until Sunday, November 24th. So you can check that out and see if that's for you. But I would love for you to head over there and say hello. And you can also find me on social media. On Facebook, you can find me at Hey Felicia Wright on Facebook. And that's where I primarily hang out. So head over there and check that out. So thanks for tuning in. If you love this podcast, please share it with a friend that you think could benefit from hearing some of the information and advice that I give, but also as well as from the Rogue Women series, you're going to hear a lot of different stories, and it's helpful to hear other people's stories, because then we can see ourselves in those stories and realize that we're not alone, because it's so easy to feel alone. So definitely check those out. And if you really love it, please leave a review on iTunes, because that helps me spread the Go Rogue message and reach more women like you. So thank you so much for dropping by, and go out and slay the day.